Hello everybody, this is Jason Fisher from timeandfreedom.com, here to do a review on the Arbonne Compensation Plan. I've had 18 years of experience in this industry. 7.5 years ago I lost $1.5 million home due to the faulty promises of residual income with no delivery at the end. And I feel very privileged to do this review on the Arbonne Compensation Plan because the former business that I was in operated under the same compensation guidelines. The Arbonne Compensation Plan is a breakaway compensation plan or a uni-level plan. And we want to go through some of that detail. We're going to just go through some concepts. We're not going to get into a lot of in-depth review on the compensation plan and all the percentages, but go over some concepts and principles that govern that business model. And here's what I want you to understand. When you become an Arbonne consultant, you are retailing products at 35%, where you can have a 35% retail profit. And basically, there's two areas of the compensation plan: retail profit and then override income that you can earn from building a team of other consultants in your business producing sales on a monthly basis. So what I really want to cover today is not so much the retail aspect, because that's pretty simple to understand, but to understand the compensation plan and some of the components within the compensation plan. Here's what I will tell you, that unless you've really understood this industry, been in this industry, it's hard to sometimes understand exactly how comp plans work and some of the positives and the negatives to that compensation plan. Here's what I will tell you. The Arbonne Compensation Plan, working under a breakaway or a uni-level compensation plan, here's how it works. You basically have 4 different main statuses. You've got district manager, you've got area manager, you've got national vice president, and then before that you have regional vice president. So you've got 4 different areas of compensation in the terms of levels of achievement. Now here's what I want you to understand. Where it gets difficult sometimes within the breakaway compensation plan is this. Let's say right now you're an area manager, and then you have someone reach the rank of area manager, just like you. You need a certain amount of sales volume to acquire that position. The problem with the breakaway compensation plan is that when someone reaches the same status level that you're at, you only can count a certain percentage of their volume for your qualification of that position yourself. That's where it becomes a little tricky. I wanted to build a business once that paid me residual income for the rest of my life. And what happens is with the breakaway compensation plans is you as a leader is always in fear of someone reaching your status, or even in the worst case scenario, bypassing you in status. I believe that whatever business that you bring into the company, you should be paid on its entirely. You should not get paid a certain percentage, or a certain amount should only qualify you for the position if someone reaches your position or bypasses your position. Here's why. It's not residual income if that is the case. You're always in fear of someone reaching your level, like I mentioned, or bypassing your status and being penalized for that. Now, a lot of folks will ask, why do compensation plans have breakaways in place? And the answer is that it keeps the leaders' feet to the fire, always having to produce new business so that the organization, the company, continues to grow. MLM companies know that the dropout rate is so horrendous. It's a way for them to keep the leaders' feet to the fire, always producing. My only problem with that is how does that create long-term residual income if you build a huge organization, but at some point someone reaches your level or bypasses your level in status? You can drastically feel those results financially. And if you look at Arbonne, and you look at some of the huge leaders over the last couple of years that have left, I believe it was ENVPs, Executive National Vice Presidents. Some folks were saying, well, why would they leave? You know, that's such a phenomenal position. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars being moved every single month within their organization. Why would they leave? Here's why they left. Because of what we just went over, which is the breakaway. When they got so good at developing leadership to their status and beyond that they got penalized so greatly that they weren't making enough income to even survive and even for it to make sense for them to build the business. And you've got to be very, very, very cautious that when you're picking a compensation plan, one of my first criteria is that there's no breakaway, that you are not penalized for developing leadership to your status or even that leadership that you developed bypassing you in status. There is a time and a point that maybe you won't want to work as hard in your business. You should never, never, never be in fear of someone taking the opportunity to the next level and you being penalized for not either keeping up with their status or being one status above them in order to collect on all that business that you would have the possibility of collecting on. It's really, really important that you understand this concept. You know, after 18 years now in this industry, my first 11 and a half, and 7.5 years ago, I lost my house. I didn't understand the breakaway concept until it happened to me. It's great that you're seeing this video. Maybe you're involved with the business right now, or maybe you're in the looking phases of looking at possibly getting involved with Arbonne. This piece in the compensation plan is probably one of the biggest things to really, really understand and grasp. And all I can tell you is after my experience losing my house, I set out for the next year and a half to review over 42 different opportunities and find a business that made sense, that the products made sense, the pricing made sense, but that I would not be penalized for developing leadership and not having a compensation plan where I always had to be one step up above everybody else in my organization. Otherwise, I'd be penalized. I did not want to be a part of any type of compensation plan that worked under those guidelines. So I'm really excited for everybody. If you're interested in chatting with me, you can fill out the contact information below. Visit the blog and you can get in contact with me, as well as I'm going to suggest that you register for the upcoming live webinar that I'm hosting, which is the Multi-Level Marketing Industry Lies Exposed. We've been having a lot of positive feedback with people that have been in this industry watching that webinar, going over all the reasons of why multi-level marketing does not produce residual income, and one of those facets is what we call the breakaway or uni-level compensation plans. So either fill out the contact information or contact me directly right away to find out the business that I chose and many other industry leaders that we're looking for a long-term residual business without the headaches and without all the gotchas. And if it makes sense, contact me as well as register for the upcoming webinar so that you can learn what we've learned and what a lot of other industries have learned. A lot of other industry leaders have learned. Again, this is Jason Fisher from timeandfreedom.com. Thanks for spending some time with me. Hopefully this review helped you quite a bit.